first, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're extremely busy between your personal life and all the stuff going on with Into Eternity right now.
Sure, yeah.
All right, man. So we got the first question for you. Let's talk about your band. You know how it started off. You know your first self-titled album, and what was the writing and recording process for recording your self-titled album for Into Eternity?
Well, we actually had Chris Corral singing for us, who sang on the Buried in Oblivion album. But then, before the first album was recorded, he had left the band and another band member as well. So some of that stuff was actually written with a couple other people. But I self-financed it. I went and got a loan because we had no money, because we were just like 20 years old and stuff, like kids. So because I believed in the band and I believed in these songs, and some of the material came from when the band was formed, like in 1996. And in all of our bios, it says that we were formed in like 1997, but actually it was before there. So some of those songs were written with our old keyboard player, Chris McDougall, and we had other members then. And it was a fun time because that album actually got us signed, and then in 97, when we got Scott in the band, he was a big computer guy at the time, and the internet had just started. So our band kind of got signed because of the internet in a way. We were like right on the cusp of that time. Sorry, that's a long answer.
Oh no, that's great. The longer, the better.
But that was the beginning of us, and our band has such a long story. I mean, I could talk about it for days. So just cut me off whenever.
Oh no problem. I have no intention of cutting you off. But anyway, so like you had mentioned just a bit ago, you guys have had some lineup changes over the years. I'm curious to see how Stu first came into the mix. How'd you guys first meet him and get that started?
Yeah, great story too. I'm actually going to be Stu's best man at his wedding. So this year he's getting married. So no matter what the public thinks, actually me and Stu are actually best friends. So, back to the story, I had a roommate, Dave Stevenson, and he had passed away, which I wrote the Incurable Tragedy story about. And Dave told me, he said, you got to check out this band that's coming through town. This was like in 2004. They're called a Megachrom, which I thought the name was awesome. And they said, but the thing is, they have a really awesome singer, and they do Painkiller. So I went to the Gaslight Saloon where they had played, and I saw their set, and their set just, I don't know. It was just okay. Nothing stood out, but at the end they did an encore or something, or it was towards the end, I believe. And they did Painkiller, and Stu did it like perfect with all the high notes and holding out notes even longer. And on top of that, he was so energetic and just made for the stage. Like only few people can just do that naturally, and Stu is actually a natural singer and a natural performer. But he's had to work at it as years have gone by. So anyways, fast forward, we want to go to Europe with Cataclysm. They say, well, hey, you can jump on tour with us. This is 2004. And I say, okay, let's do it. Problem is our singer Chris Corral didn't want to go, because he had already toured with Maurizio and Cataclysm in the States. We did a U.S. tour with them in 2003, and they kind of maybe butted heads a bit. Maurizio's a real, I don't know if you know him from Cataclysm. He's like the main leader of Cataclysm. So needless to say, we didn't want to turn down the tour, so we got this Dean guy to sing for us, which is a good friend of ours from New York City, because I was a big fan of his band, Within Another. I believe that was the name, yeah. So the whole time we're in Europe with Dean, we just started finding internet cafes in Europe in 2005. And Stu called, would MSN me. Back then it was, you'd go through your, I don't know, I guess MSN chat it was called or something. This was 05, and he said, hey, I heard you need a singer, I'd love to come down on audition. So as soon as that tour was over, Dean, the singer at the time, decided he didn't want to like stay with us, so it was perfect timing that he contacted us, and we flew him down in January of '05 and auditioned him, and he nailed it all, which I knew he would. So that was it. That's history.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, now we know that Stu's in Ice Earth now. I mean, has it been difficult working with the band and working with him now that he's been busy with Ice Earth lately?
Well, we haven't been really working with him a whole lot because he's gone the whole time. But he came down, as soon as he got home after Christmas, he came right into the rehearsal studio with us and Amanda. So we timed it when we flew Amanda down that Stu would be there, and then he could help Amanda through all the songs. So it was a godsend that Stu did that, and Stu totally wants to help us with what he can. But like Ice Earth is an actual job. Like he's on salary, and this is like actually the big time. The real music industry in our band is much smaller. We're working towards that, but we're not there yet. So I mean, it's a tough situation for us. But we want Stu to excel and do what he's meant to be. He's meant to be the front man, you know. And Ice Earth is such a perfect fit for him. It's like he loves the band, and they're having a great time on the road, and so it's going to be great for Stu for sure.
So you mentioned just a minute ago, new singer Amanda, I believe Kiernan is how you pronounce her last name?
Yeah.
So Amanda Kiernan from the Order of Chaos is the new live singer, I believe. Just live.
Just live. Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit how you came across her and who else or not necessarily who else you auditioned, but why did you pick her over some of her male competitors?
A couple reasons. Brian is the one that told me that she could do it. So, because she's from Edmonton and Brian's from Edmonton. So we had some other auditions. We actually were going to pick, we really liked Ray. How do you say her last name? Emma. Right now she's going to go out with that Woods of, we really liked her. She's from the East Coast. So she auditioned and she did Timeless Winter, and we really liked her. Actually, so she was who we were going to get, actually. It was still going to be a female either way, though. But Brian suggested Amanda. So, of course, I'm like everyone else. I went and saw that Order of Chaos. But so I couldn't see how she could work with our band because the Order of Chaos sounds nothing like us. And her vocals just are... I wasn't sure, but Brian really was. So she sent a couple audition videos. And then, okay, I could see it a lot better then. I just thought maybe she'd need a bit of work, and... We flew her down, and she actually nailed it all. So, and Stu was there training her, and she can hit all the notes we needed. And another reason we took her was because she's from Edmonton, so Brian and her are already friends and know each other. So they can just get on a plane together and fly down. And Brian has a friend now in Edmonton, and they can rehearse together now in Edmonton together. So it was more logistics, actually, than anything. But there were a lot of great guy auditions. Yeah, I hope you guys don't think that, because there were tons of good. We could have easily gotten Brandon, too, from Swallowed by Apathy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Swallowed by Apathy.
But then that's another U.S. thing, to fly him down. I mean, there's problems there with visas as well, and bringing another U.S. guy. It was, well, we're going to try this right now anyway, so... Who knows what will happen with our band, you know. Maybe Amanda won't like being out on the road with us, or who knows.
Well,
maybe they'll get bigger, or we can't predict what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but people will get upset about it in the meantime, but most of the stuff is out of our hands.
You know, Into Eternity has dealt with bigger and more more terrible things than this. And it's looking like things are interesting. You know, I'm excited to see what's going to come next.
Yeah, sure, me too. That's the way we want to keep looking forward. Yeah.
So, anyway, I know this question has been answered 1,000,000 times on the internet, but people, for some reason, are still very confused. So just in the interest of putting the question to bed from this point on, to what capacity is Stu Block going to be involved with Into Eternity in the future, at least for now?
Well, it's just a matter, I can't answer that because I don't know Eister's schedule. So that would be more a Stu question, I would assume. But as much as Stu can, he's demoed, he's been on 2 songs right now, Sandstorm and Fukushima, but he's also demoed on 3 other songs already. Full harmonies, we sang it all. We have it all locked down already, but now we'll have to line up with him to record it. So we'll have to wait till Stu gets back. So we're kind of, we'll start playing live shows now.
So the intention is to have Stu on the new record, at least for one more record?
Well, yeah, as much as we can. I mean, I don't know what kind of trouble he could get in from. Maybe John will say no for another one. I don't know. So far, it's been no problem. So I don't think John minds. I don't know. I haven't met John yet, so I'm curious. I'm going to ask them. At the same time, they stole my singer, so.
Well, you know, John's notorious for being stern, but I think it's more strong. And he was a nice guy when I met him on that tour.
I've never met him, so.
Yeah, he was friendly with me, so and I'm looking forward to meeting him again. I just got VIP tickets to see them in March.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
but yeah, that's definitely a question to ask Stu, but unfortunately he's just so busy that it's almost going to be impossible to get him.
Yeah, it's a matter of whatever Eister's schedule is. Maybe if Stu comes back in April, we can get him back into the studio.